Brandon, it is time for your keys to the game. What are your keys to Baker and the Cleveland Browns upsetting the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, this game is going to be a simple game. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a really good game to watch. And there's 3 keys to victory for the Cleveland Browns. Number 1, it starts with Baker Mayfield. 0 turnovers. Baker has done a phenomenal job over the second half of this season protecting the ball. He needs to continue to do that. The last 315 pass attempts, he has 1 interception, and that 1 interception made me and Nick Wright come together and almost go to blows. So he needs to protect the ball so Nick Wright and I don't fight come Monday. That's number 1.
That's right.
Number 2, Chubbs and Hunt. They need to combine for 175 rushing yards, at least. This is a team, and you don't have to be an analyst. You don't have to be a 13-year NFL veteran. You don't have to have any experience like that to know exactly who this team is. We know the recipe for success for the Cleveland Browns is running the ball. They need to run the ball like they did last week against the same defense. They went for 190 yards. They can get it done there. And the last thing is, Alex Van Pelt needs to be aggressive. A lot of times when you're thrust into the spotlight and you're like, you're the guy now, you're more conservative. Nick, you talked about this earlier this week where you were a little nervous with Prefer and this Cleveland Browns team. It's like, man, when you're house sitting for somebody that you really like, you're more conservative. You do everything you can to make sure that thing is intact. So when they come back, they're proud of you. So Alex Van Pelt, I encourage you to do the opposite. If it's 4th and 1, lean more towards going for it. You get in the red zone, you go for it. If you score a touchdown, go for the 2-point conversion. So I like that, and I got that from you, buddy.
Lean all the way in.
And because that is a concern that Prefer in game management, Van Pelt in play calling, they're going to say, this isn't my car, I don't want to screw it up. And Wilds was suggesting they go the exact opposite. Treat it like a rental car. Like if I bust up the tires, who cares? It ain't mine anyway. I got to get where I'm trying to go. I'm going to add 1 key. And this is for all the playoff games. And this is where our producers get a little annoyed with me. They're like, Nick, it's the Friday before playoff weekend. What's the first thing you're going to talk about? And I tell them, kicking. One of the games this weekend is going to come down to a kicker. Mark it down. Wild, you roll your eyes all you want. I know it's not great television.
I'll take that.
The audience comes here for great analysis.
He's going to write it down.
Cody Parkey,
there you go.
Cody Parkey has not hit a 50-yard field goal all year. Hadn't even tried one. Conversely, the Steelers, Boswell, is he going to play? Or are they going to go with this Stephen Wright cousin of mine? Don't know. They think Boswell is going to play. So in Heinz Field, where it's already tough to kick in a game that you expect to be close, I think that this game could come down to guys we never talk about. I also think this, Wilds, we are going to know after the first quarter. The last time we've seen a coaching staff truly decimated by COVID, we knew after the first 2 drives in, what was it, the Bucs-Lions game, it's like, oh, the Lions are drawing dead.
Cooking time.
If after the first quarter the Browns look like the Browns, then I think you're going to get the type of game I expect, which is a close game that, I'll give a pick out early, I think the Browns are going to win late. I think if this game is a close game, the Browns win. I don't think the Browns have the ability to blow out the Steelers, and there is a slight concern of mine that we're going to know 5 minutes in, we have underrated how much the COVID situation has decimated Cleveland. This is going to look like Cleveland, Pittsburgh in week 1 of the regular season, or I'm sorry, their first time playing the regular season. That is a slight concern, Wilds, but I think if that's not the case, I think Cleveland wins the game.
Yeah, so Cleveland hasn't practiced all week, Nick. And like you said, the last time we saw coaches down, Tom Brady threw for 4 touchdowns, 350 yards in the first half, and then sat. So I think you're right that, the game could be over. Here's the fun stat. You could put Nick Wright back on the screen there, Katanik. Nick, you know how they have economic indicators, and just because a stat is weird doesn't mean it's not true. So one of my favorite ones is like undershirts. So undershirts, when undershirt sales are up, the economy is up. And undershirt sales are down, the economy's going bad because like people are getting tight with their money, and undershirt is the last thing no one sees. You don't need to buy any undershirts. Jarvis Landry. Brandon, I'm going to add this as a fourth key too. Jarvis Landry. The Browns are 5-1 when Jarvis Landry throws a pass. So that is, I'm just like, well, who cares? Wow. I think it's like an economic indicator where that means the Browns are playing loose and taking chances and being creative. I think if Jarvis Landry throws,
they're going to have
Jenna, here's where I start to get crazy. This is my addition to 2 passes. Throw 2 passes. And I don't think Tomlin's like, well, certainly not. Jarvis Landry's not going to
you can't throw the whole game plan out. I mean, you got to stay
this is the game plan.
In line with who you are as the Cleveland. Oh, 2 passes for Jarvis Landry. I don't know. What do you think?
2 passes, throw it around. X Factor.
Throw it around. I like it. I like it. I like it. Look, here's what I would say. Brandon. Here's what I would say, Nick, really quick. I think you're right, and you sound like Mike Shanahan to me. Mike Shanahan used to always say when he would roll out his keys to the game for us, it will always start with, we have to start fast. So everything you talked about with the Cleveland Browns and Baker Mayfield, if it's a close game, and if they, in those first 5 minutes, we will know. So what you're saying is, they need to start fast. And if they start fast, it could get really scary and ugly for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Especially because I think it's noteworthy, Big Ben has played 1 good half of football since Thanksgiving. I don't know if he ate a little too much on Thanksgiving. I wouldn't accuse him of that. But since then, Big Ben has looked excellent in 1 half of football. And as far as Jenna's point about the Browns staying true to who they are, I didn't know the Jarvis Landry numbers, but if they've played 16 games. If in 6 of them, Landry has thrown a pass, which is what it would be if they're 5-1 when he throws a pass, that means that is who they are.
Career.
So what
Might be his career.
It might be his career. All right, we're going to have to fact check that.
I think it's his
career. We're going to have to fact check that. Appreciate that. Okay, that makes a little more sense. But what I do anticipate, Brandon, is this happening this weekend. Let me go ahead and do it right here. Do you know what that is? That's a signature win. It's a signature win for Baker Mayfield. First of his career. First signature win of Baker Mayfield's career.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.